right, welcome guys. This is another edition of The Way. I'm not sure what number this is. I'll start numbering them so that makes them easier for you guys to tell apart when you see them, right? I'll start putting episode number and then The Way. Okay, so you have the description of how I got to where I am and everything that's going on. So how did I get here? In that respect, I looked at all the religions and saw that there were so many things that were right and so many things that I felt were wrong, that I started looking more internally to myself and realizing that there's a very large growing number of people around the world that have done the same thing and are continuing to do the same thing. Like I said, if your religion works for you, that's fine. It's okay. That's not the point. The point isn't that. The point is to find your way. The point is to find your way back to God. The problem that we have is that there's so many distractions. Everything is a distraction. I mean, everything. Everything is designed by the powers that should not be to keep you from actually contemplating things. However, you have filmmakers who have written the dichotomy into it. You see, they have to, the way it works, the way the universe works, this is part of the way again, is that you can't hide everything. It refuses to be hidden because of the laws of the universe. So you have, the chaos theory, if you guys know what that is. Well, in a sense, that's kind of the way it is. If somebody does something evil, that gives way to something that has to be light. If somebody does something that's completely light, that gives way to something that's evil. There is a balance. Is it a 50-50 balance? Yes and no, because they've found ways to overpower the system in doing evil. Yet good is on the other end of that, but evil seems to be more prevalent because they control the narrative. So that makes you think that they're stronger or there's more of them or both, and it's actually far from the truth. They're not. They're only maybe 10% of the population is considered evil. And that's the truth. So it might be a little bit more, but it's not anywhere near 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, whatever. Okay? It's nowhere near that. It just seems like it because they've corrupted everything that they can visually and on sound to get to you. Okay? And they go after, people say, why would the Illuminati go after like Katy Perry? Because Katy Perry sings songs, she's popular. She has videos. They can put their imagery in the videos that subconsciously, subliminally gets into your head. They can have them have tattoos. They can have them make symbols. They can have them sing words. And all this gets into your head over and over. And we've proven that on the internet. You can see, there's a lot of guys out there that have. They show this stuff in cartoons, where video games, where it says ask about the Illuminati, things like that. I mean, no joke, in video games for kids, in cartoons for children. Okay, so why is that? Well, because they're subliminally they're distracting you to try and get you gaslit, to mind wipe you, to get you to join the dark side. That's no joke, right? So they make everything a caste system and reward those people who would stab someone in the back to get ahead. They make the system inherently set up for that, so that if you are a cutthroat, you actually will do better. And you just have to watch out for other people that are cutthroat like you. So you can move faster. Once people start to realize, other evil people get together with other evil people, they're like-minded, let's go. And, then they figure out who, they eat each other eventually, until one of them succeeds and the other ones are always pissed off, and then they go a different way and try to cut back and try to get back at them. And that's just how it works. Okay, until you get to the top, and then you have that power structure that they've embedded, and they utilize all of that to distract you with everything. And then they put their symbols right in your face when you don't even know what they mean. But it's esoteric, so other people do. So everything is a distraction. Movies, television, internet is a distraction to keep you from thinking about your immortal soul in every way. But the good thing is, like I said, there's good people who have put good messages in and embedded in movies on purpose, so that you get those same good messages through osmosis as well, through subconscious means as well. So you get good, wholesome, that's why all your good guys are goody two-shoes and all your bad guys are super evil villains, right? And then the movies, everybody loves the movies where you can't tell the good guys from the bad guys because everybody is right there doing bad things. Okay? Those are the movies they want you watching because everybody's bad. Even the good guys are bad. That's what they want you to see. That's the distraction. Good people don't do bad things. Not even because of killing evil people. That's why Batman's character was unwavering forever. Will not kill. That's the line he's drawn for himself. He's not going to take another human life. And that's the way that it has been. He's kept it that way. And he doesn't even have any superpowers. That's the beauty of Batman. Batman doesn't have superpowers. I was like, well, he was bit by a bat. No, that was Spider-Man who was bit by a spider. Okay, Batman was scared shitless by bats. Bat didn't bite him and give him some bat powers. Okay, there was the spider that was irradiated that bit Spider-Man that gave him his powers, which Spider-Man's still badass too, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But Batman just has sheer will and his abilities that he learned. Okay, and so his fighting and his abilities are what he knows and his will. And then he, of course, had some help with a suit that softened the blow so that he didn't take so much damage fighting people, right? So that's why the bulky suit, right? You have to have, it's just like a football player with their pads. You have to wear some sort of padding and armor. So he has that disbursement armor to where when you hit him, if you punch him, it takes the armor itself, which is, material, takes most of the, and gelatins and things like that, takes most of the blow and disperses it throughout the armor itself. And he just takes the impact of things, not the actual blow and impact. So there's a difference of transfer of energy. The transfer of energy that he gets is only the transfer of the physical blow itself, not the actual transfer of the energy that the blow is wound up with. Do you see? It's like if you get hit with a baseball bat and you're wearing a helmet, you feel the impact, right? Because there's an impact. So there's the transfer of energy makes your head go boink, but there's no damage done to you because it didn't transfer any of that energy to you, to your physical body. So, although that's not a good example because I was hit in the head with a golf club at 11 and I didn't feel any pain. It was like wearing a helmet, and clunk even felt like that. Same thing, only I started bleeding. Right? So, and I had my skull dented in. They had to cut a part out of it and let it grow back, right? Because it was dented. They were worried it was going to dent into my brain and get me all screwed up like I am now. So, okay, so everything's a distraction. You have to watch that stuff. You have to be aware of it. You have to constantly be aware of it. It's like watching a commercial 24/7. You know how the commercials are, right? Product placement in your face, in your face, in your face. And you can even mute the television. It doesn't matter. They're holding up the whatever it is that they're trying to sell to you all the way across the entire screen. You'd have to literally block the screen out to not have that go into your brain too. And they know that. They're aware of that. They do that on purpose. Product placement in movies and in television shows where companies pay money to have their product in the shot, and they make sure that their label is facing perfectly to the camera. Okay, and certain vehicles get the shows. TV shows, one's everybody's driving Chevys, the other one everybody's driving Fords, and that's what they do. They do that on purpose. Those companies pay money to have their product in there. Okay, so it's not by accident. If you pick up a product that hasn't been paid for, they warble that out so that you can't see it because they're not making money off of that company, so they're not going to give them credit. That's the truth of it. So you see that happen like on the news where somebody's wearing a shirt and it says something and they have the thing blocked out with the little warp thing because they're not endorsing that company. And they don't want to do it. I'm not giving them free advertising. That's why they do that. So if you see a news agency and somebody's wearing an Adidas shirt and it still says it's Adidas, guess what? Adidas is paying that company to be able to, anytime somebody's wearing one of those shirts or hats or anything of their product, to allow them to, they get credit for it. Okay? And they get paid. It's called being an affiliate. You should look that up. Okay? You're affiliated with somebody. That means that you guys share the profit on certain things. Okay. So they do that on purpose, and you have to be aware of that, because if you're not, then that's what keeps you in the matrix. That's what keeps you lost and locked in. You're completely distracted constantly by other things. And this happens, when if you literally, and I've seen this happen because I work with people who help people, okay, in many different ways. Psychologically, spiritually, I do that. I'm a guide. I'm a spirit guide. I'm a life coach, spirit coach, okay? And that's what I do, motivational speaker. That's what I do, okay? So what happens is when you're working with somebody who wants to help people and they start down that path, what they don't realize is that they gain more distractions to try and keep them from doing that. So you have to be aware of that when you see it happen. Your life gets harder, not easier. So if you want to help people, as soon as you start helping people, your life becomes harder to live because you get more distractions trying to stop you, and you have to push through those distractions always. It's easy to get distracted, very easy to get distracted, okay? And they will present themselves, and it happens more readily than you think. Things that don't normally happen, say you're that person that no one invites to a barbecue, and all of a sudden you're going down the spiritual path of helping people, and then all of a sudden everybody wants you at their barbecue. Why? Trying to keep you away from doing what you're doing. You have to see these things and understand that they are real. Okay, they are real. If you look at the churches, even though most of the churches are inherently set up in the caste system, which is a corrupt society system that means that people are having hierarchy and they're in charge, and you pay money up to them. Okay? Just like the governmental system. Our government system is a caste system. They're up there on high, and we pay money up to them. See? And then they have us convinced, to some of you, that you're just the bottom of the barrel, and that's all you're ever going to be. Right? That's what they want you to do. They want you to buy into that system. Every system you buy into is the system that is going to occupy you, right? And your ego doesn't help. Remember before I said, I don't want to talk about ego. The truth is, it's there, and without it, you can't learn. It's there to help you move forward by serving as a bad example, by tugging at you, pulling on you, okay? And they've set up another ego, though. That's the important thing. They set up another ego, and that ego is the internet, movies, radio, magazine, newspaper, at all. So the more you occupy yourself with mundane things every single day, I got a show on Monday, and then a show on Tuesday, and then a show on Wednesday, and a show on Thursday that I watch on TV. Once you get to that age, you start doing that, they're sucking you in. That's why old people, that's all they do is watch TV all day long. That's all they got. They started watching it in the 40s, and now they're in their 80s, and they watch television. I watch the same channel. I once was roommates with a woman who watched channel, I don't remember what it was, but it was one single channel, right? It was like ABC, and that's all she watched all day long. She didn't watch any other channel. She watched that channel and all the shows on that channel, not even kidding you. Okay, some people are like that. They have certain shows. Some people bounce around. My mom has shows on different channels on different nights. Okay, there's some things that I like to watch too, because you can't, come on, you can't be constantly, you can constantly be at, devotion to God. Oh, if you really want to, you can do that. And if you're going to do that, you might as well become a priest or a monk or a nun or you know what I mean? Then serve that way. I'm not saying you should, but what I'm saying is if you have that in you. I didn't. I'm a minister. Do I have a church right now? No, I don't. I could, right? Do I have a flock? No. Flock? No. Right? No, I don't. But I could. They wanted me to join the Catholic seminary. They saw within me, you would make a perfect priest. You have everything you need. We need you to join. Well, I couldn't give up the family sex, even though I haven't had children. I have a stepson, but I haven't had that, and I've had 2 divorces, but at least I'm trying to make a go of it, right? But my point is that I didn't want to give all of that up just to be the priest, and knowing how I am, and I have a libido, so I would have to fight against that, and I didn't see myself as wanting to be going down that road. And now I understand why, because I'm doing what I'm doing now, which I wouldn't have been able to do had I not gone down that road. Now, had I locked myself into a parish as well and got a job, I would be locked into a box and only talking to those people. And I could still do this on, say, off time, but then as a pastor in charge of a church, there's a lot that goes into that and what you have to take care of. So that becomes a full-time job. So I would have very limited time to do what I do now. And I didn't want to do that because I want to reach more people than just the, say, 100 that are there in the seats, right? That show up, okay? So, whether or not this works, I don't know. I just do what I do. So if you guys like this, then subscribe to the page, please. Subscribe to my YouTube page. This is where it's going to be. It's not going to be on Facebook until I'm just going to have links there. Facebook is doing nothing for me. They just keep robbing me. They just keep locking me in jail. And YouTube deleted a video. I don't necessarily have the point of view of a progressive Democrat. Therefore, they delete me a lot because I'm more conservative. Well, now if they delete me here, this is a matter of religion and spirituality, and I can sue them for it. So if they do anything with these shows, with this stuff here, I will sue them over that. I will go to court, and I'll find a lawyer that will go pro bono and maybe even do a class action lawsuit with a bunch of people that are having the same problems. And they won't be hard to find because I know a lot of them. All right. So if you like hearing what I'm talking about, please hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you know when I post. I will post on YouTube and then link it to Facebook. That's what I'm doing from now on. So those of you who loved watching me or hearing me on Facebook, I apologize. I won't be there anymore on doing a show that's posted there. When it's a premiere, it's going to be the premiere that's going to be a link to take you to YouTube from now on. So if you guys don't want to listen to me because of that, have a nice day. All right, guys. I'm going to keep it short. 16 minutes right there is already longer than I wanted to go. Okay, so distraction. That was the moral compass of today. Everything is a distraction. You need to pay attention to that and not get distracted, or at the very least be aware of what's happening to you so that you can then combat that. That's very, 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 very important. I can't stress how important that is to break the conditioning and start to be able to think for yourself. Okay?